Hi, so I'm here to go over week 7, what we're doing for this week. It's been a pretty spectacular fall in terms of colors and just the sights. I mean, the colors have been pretty amazing for a while. So we're going to do something with that to continue with sort of the wabi-sabi and sort of that impermanent, transitory, unheroic, fragile nature that we talked about in the wabi-sabi design piece. We're going to elaborate on that sort of with the transience of life and merging with the natural world. So this is the project brief for week 7. This week you are going to design with 4 sketches a lamp. So you're going to design a lamp that says something about the transience of autumn. So autumn is a time of harvest, transition, and decay. The days are shorter, the nights are colder, and we are headed into winter. It is a season that really speaks to the transience of life. So students, you all, are going to design a lamp to signify some aspect of that transition into autumn. You may decide to design a tabletop lamp, a floor lamp, a chandelier, or any other lighting fixture. It might go on the wall, it might hang down, might be handheld, whatever it is, it's your design. You're making 4 sketches, 1 isometric and 3 orthographic sketches for this. No clay required, no limitations of clay required. So you're gonna start by watching a video about Matsuo Basho, who you may have briefly heard about in the Wabi Sabi piece. It's this video here. He is the father of haiku. And sort of to go with that, you were gonna write a haiku. So you need to understand the structure about how to write haiku. Here's another YouTube video about the structure of a haiku. Essentially, it's a 3-line poem of 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables. That's essentially it. There's some other nuances, but we don't have to get into that. 5, 7, 5, that's what you need to remember. So you need to watch the video, understand the haiku, and then you're gonna go outside. You're gonna take some time between now and Monday, and you're gonna go outside to immerse yourself in nature and observe natural life that exists. It could be at a park, it could be at a river, a pond, a stream, the woods, within a neighborhood, wherever it is, life exists there. Look at the things that were one screen. Listen to the sounds of the birds, the squirrels, the other living things. See what's moving around. Observe something. So you're gonna spend at least 20 minutes, at least. Not 15, not 17, not 10, at least 20. Outside, listening, looking, feeling, observing. You should not look at your phone during this entire period of 20 minutes. No loving phones. Think about and contemplate the idea of transition, decay, and the eventual rebirth of springtime. But you are going to hopefully, this is a quote from that video you're going to watch. What really matters is to be able to be content with our own company, to appreciate the moment we're in, and to be attuned to the very simplest things life has to offer, like the changing of the seasons. This comic here of Calvin and Hobbes, one of the best comics series I think ever written, which I thought about when a colleague of mine shared a story where he was dropping his son off to meet up with other people, and they were just sitting in the car waiting for the other people to show up. This is a couple years ago. And he just kind of sat there and he was like, wow, what a beautiful sky. Look at the clouds. Isn't this great? And his son was just like immediately on his phone. And he had this theory that maybe he's not comfortable with himself in that moment, and he needs to have that as like a companion or something else. Needs to find something within that rather than being comfortable with himself in nature. So 20 minutes, be with yourself in nature. There are some haiku examples here from Matsuo Basho. There are some examples of a ceramic artist, Michael Sherrill, who I got to see in DC. He had a retrospective, and it was just absolutely amazing stuff. So much stuff. And he really gets into kind of the idea of like living things like this one, which is based off of rhododendron leaves. And they're all the colors, they're like in stages of life and decay at the same time. Some things are decaying as some things are being like born anew. There's this one where the flower bud here and like these pods are kind of shedding off, but this one's fresh and this one's coming up. So like flowers in all different stages of life and decay at the same time. So that's sort of the idea. You're going to compose an original haiku poem, or several. I mean, there are no limits. You need to do at least one. You could do 100 if you wanted. And it needs to reflect your reactions, feelings, observations to spending that 20 minutes outside in nature. The theme should connect to the transience of autumn. You can compose it outside. You can compose it when you get back inside. Finally, you're going to design, with the 4 sketches, a lamp to convey some aspect of transience and autumn. With the design, you need to note the colors, if there is a shade, like a lampshade, and where the cord is. These lamps here, the cord kind of goes up with the stem. This lamp, the cord just kind of goes down the wall. There's not a whole lot you can do about that. This tabletop lamp, the cord, I believe, runs at the back. These are hung by the cords, so is that. You need to be aware of what the cord does. That's very important. Is there shade? Is there no shade? Is the lamp a shade itself? I don't know. It's your design. There are examples here. There are other examples of haiku, singular haiku, plural haiku. There are also resources. There's the vid you need to watch, the vid about how to write a haiku. This is a ceramic artist who I think fits into this and like having something being born. So a ceramic pot that's born rather than made. There are some 2 articles about Michael Sherrill, who does this beautiful, beautiful work. There's a metaphor of spring because I had this as a spring assignment last semester. We're just going to do it in autumn. There's what rebirth means in Buddhism, and there's some poems. There's some links to poems about autumn and fall. So like you can use any of those to get inspired. We're looking at 2 specific habits of mind that we're going to focus on. We're working on a bunch of them, but 2 specifically. One is observe. You're observing nature. And the second one is express. You are expressing something about that transience through your work. So this is the rubric. Sort of you have to have all those dots. You have to hit all those bullet points in order to get that into that category. And you're going to submit your work through a doc. These are some examples of student work from the spring. And in the spring, we were looking at the spring, but since it's fall, we're going to look at the fall. It's that changing of the season. The spring is more about rebirth, and this is more like decay and sort of like going into sleep. So this is student original work. So you have a haiku and the design. There's a haiku and a design, a haiku and a design. You can use color, you can note color by writing it, whatever it is, you do it. Each of you has this doc, you have a copy, and this is where you're going to insert your haiku, singular or plural, and your 4 sketch design. Your haiku goes right in this box. You highlight that, delete it, start typing your haiku, 3 lines, and here's where you insert your design. Again, those are at the bottom, but that's it. So Thursday and Friday look like nice days. There's very little chance of rain. They're kind of warm. Those are perfect days to spend 20 minutes outside. I'm probably not going to have us go out during class. Go out when you are remote. When it's your remote day, check in for attendance and then go outside. 20 minutes, be there in the day. And if and when you do come in, you need to notice this tree out in the courtyard because it has got like some delightful color. This one over here, which is not showing up in this video, it is just like this fire orange that transitions to like this green underneath. Really great. Also, we have rhododendrons out in the courtyard, which is what Michael Sherrill did that like crazy multiple colored clay thing about. That's it. Those are the instructions. You have everything you need on Classroom. As always, email me with any questions. I'll see you soon.